Okay, let's get this started.
Recording in progress.
Here we go. Opening up the room. Everybody's back from the holidays. Let's see.
Oh, there's people coming in.
People are coming. People
Right.
remembered us.
We're back.
Yeah. We're drawing Groundhog Day. You know what? It wasn't until I Googled it. I always thought it was Groundhog's Day.
I had a hard time saying that. I always thought it was Groundhog's Day also.
It's
Well, I
Groundhog
just
Day.
realized it wasn't Groundhog's Day, so thank you.
Yeah, the more you know.
I feel like I'm having a Groundhog Day here.
That's
I
what
don't blame you there, Dale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another I love the idea your family coming down and like making fun of you or throwing you food and
Pretty much.
cage.
Feels like a little, it's a little like illustrators terrarium kind of.
Exactly. Yeah.
Dale is bringing new meaning to the term illustration isolation.
Right. It's observation.
Yeah, remember when like a year ago people were like, "Are you guys going to change the name to the to this show?" We were like, "Let's suss this out. Let's see."
I'm all in now.
It's still staying prevalent.
Yeah, it still seems to be a good fitting title. So
We're gonna have a good solid 3 years.
yeah, I think so. We got plenty of time. All right, here we go.
All right. Hi, everybody. Whoops. Man, I did it too soon. I ran into the same problem. Here we go. Back to normal, right? Here we go.
Yeah, here we go.
Got there.
Here we go.
Hi, everybody. This is John. It sounds like the Visual Arts Passage is buying Timmy a new computer here real soon. Sounds like the drink just hit the.
No, we are all good. Here we go.
So we drink through the holiday. We have alcoholic drinks through the holiday programs. So there's going to be a lot of bad drawings.
These are fine here.
I hope everybody had a great holiday. And Cassandra and Bill and Dale, thank you for joining on the during the kind of in between holidays. And Dale, I'm sorry that you're not feeling well. So I am excited to be drawing again, though. I don't know about the rest of you, but I have not drawn in 10 days. I did a little bit the first couple of days of the break, and that was about it. But tonight we're going to be drawing from our references from Groundhog Day. And Timmy, I had the same issue as you. I always called it Groundhog's Day. I don't know. I thought it had an S on it, and I didn't pay attention. But when I started doing the research on it, figured it out quickly. But it was still hard it doesn't sound right.
You know what that's called? The Mandela Effect.
Oh, yeah.
I've mentioned it's like many people, and they're like, "No, it's Groundhog's Day." And I was like, "No, it's not."
Well, it just doesn't sound right when you first. It's hard to say.
Yeah.
So anyway, what we're doing tonight, we're going to be doing 3 poses. The first 2 are 20-minute poses. The third pose is a 40-minute pose. So Bill Murray is our first subject as Phil. I guess we have a double portrait here. We have
Punxsutawney Phil.
Phil and Phil.
Phil, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the second is Rita, Andy McDowell. And the third is Stephen Tobolowsky as Ned. And you have your choice of drawing Ned or back to Phil and Rita. You can do either or if you're fast, you can get them both done. So I'm ready to go. In between poses, post your drawings to #illustration isolation on Instagram, and let's get drawing.
All right. And I'll be dropping a link in the chat just in a second. And only thing I'll add is just be sure to join in the conversation tonight. Ask questions. And yeah, hope you draw with us.
Kind of interesting, the last week of the semester, doing those portfolio reviews and everything, I thought I was Groundhog. I thought it was Groundhog's Day for me.
Yeah,
I bet.
right.
But this
No.
feels good to come back to the drawing.
And they were all different versions of the same amazing day, right?
That's right. Just another day at Visual Arts Passage. So one of the cooler things I saw over the break is Dale's photos from Dale's vacation.
Oh my gosh, those are beautiful.
Tell us about it, Dale.
Oh, thanks. We went down to a very, very cold, windy, desolate Martha's Vineyard, which was wonderful. Borrowed a friend's house, which was even better. Right downtown Edgartown, and really just hung out and did nothing. It was really nice to be there with, there were no crowds, nothing was open, of course, but it was just really beautiful, really stark and easy to get around. It's funny, the trips that would take you 45 minutes in July took 15 minutes. It was nice. I
The
got
water quite as warm. So
pardon me, the water wasn't
water wasn't quite as warm.
it wasn't. The stars were amazing though. Oh my god.
Oh, I
Couldn't
bet.
see the photo you sent. That was,
Yeah, the stars were just incredible.
didn't look real.
It doesn't look real when you're right there. It's amazing. I'm just kind of figuring out this camera I got, so I'm having fun with it. It's funny, man. You spend a little time away from drawing and oof, it's like your first day back running.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It's funny, just before, I don't know about you guys, but for me, if business is slow, all I have to do is plan a vacation.
There you go.
And the day before you leave, boom.
So
So
true.
I got this real cool job, but I'm going to post about, I think it's New Year's Day. It came in and it was like a 24-hour sprint.
Well done. You said it'll go public New Year's Day.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to give hints?
Yeah, I can't say who it is, but it's for the Dallas Morning News, and it's the Texan of the Year.
Oh, fun.
And I've done it in the past, it's always a nice. For some reason, you have clients. Everybody has this, I'm sure. You have clients for some reason. The work is always pretty strong. Do you guys have that?
Yeah.
And like sometimes it's because you're psyched about it, and then other times it's like, well, that came out good,
Or just maybe you know that you're free to be like the way you are, and that kind of opens you up to be better sometimes.
I think that's probably true. Yeah, you're comfortable and.
Well, it's nice when somebody trusts you. I think that tends to bring out the best in people.
It really is. Yeah. It's funny too.
So what was the topic again about tech?
It's their Texan of the Year. So, they just choose their who they believe is the outstanding.
I could say a lot about that, but I'm not going to.
Oh, yeah. Who do you think deserves it? Because there were a bunch of candidates.
I can tell you a bunch that don't.
Well,
I don't
it's
even-
funny because the governor got Texas Monthly's Bum Steers of the Year.
That Abbott, is it?
Yeah, I've done a few of those, and Tim O'Brien did that this year.
Well, that's good.
And another candidate was Elon Musk. I didn't know. I knew he was South African by birth, but I didn't know he was considered
I
a
didn't know he
Texan.
lived in Texas.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Is he in Austin? I feel like Austin has been very hot. Like everybody wants to be in Austin.
Yeah, he's got to be.
Austin's a cool town.
Austin's awesome.
I heard wonderful things about it.
I'm trying to guess who Texan of the Year would be.
Yeah.
You probably, unless you really knew, you probably wouldn't. Unless you
I
really
gotta imagine that like 3 out of 5 years, it's always like Matthew McConaughey.
No, this was really significant, and I was actually like intimidated.
Oh, that's cool.
Is this somebody you didn't realize was Texan?
Yeah, well, I didn't even know who this person was, but after I realized what it was they had done, I thought, ooh, I gotta deliver this properly here. This can't be
Hmm.
Oh wow.
this can't be my usual, slap it down and send it off.
Throwing that one in.
The stamp, the Dale Stefano stamp.
Yeah. Cha-chung, get out. Yeah. Check, invoice, gone, bike ride.
Because you phone it in so often, right?
Yeah, I'll take like your phone in illustration anytime. Like I just think of like the hanging out at your kitchen table ballpoint pen drawings. Those were amazing. So
Oh,
that's
thank you. That's
shooting the
nice.
breeze.
Yeah, my New Year's resolution is to knock it off. I'm gonna develop a new, like, really spontaneous, very, very fast style that I can charge
Oh.
the same for.
Oh, good luck with that.
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing what you create.
I know.
Yeah.
So does anybody have resolutions? Do you guys play that game?
Mm. I think it's always just the same to, just keep trying harder. So I don't make like big grandiose ones because I think those are unrealistic. For me personally.
Have any of you ever made a big grandiose one that you followed through on?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Probably not. Well, maybe the exercise one. Because that's been.
Yeah, no, I agree. I feel like those are the easiest because it's just like, okay, just go do that and then
Yeah.
it's done.
But I did recently buy myself some a bunch of cheap craft paints, a pad of paper, and about 100 pages. And so there's some comic stuff that I've been wanting to do that I've been installing on, and my goal is to just fill this sketch pad with comics and just not put too much importance on it, but just play and not psych myself out about it.
Hmm.
So is everything cheap?
Everything's cheap, so
Good. Yeah, that's the key, isn't it?
everything's cheap.
Yeah.
Everything's like the 50-cent tubes of bottles of Crafts paint from Michael's, and
I went and I bought after I watched Don's Studio Bridge talk. I went and bought myself one of those fancy sketchbooks that he uses, and I just cannot I haven't put a mark on it yet. So the paper is just like velvety. It's so nice. So I have to get better before I can use it.
Too bad Don's not here. He's the big influencer tonight.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I have acrylic gouache because of Don. I asked for it for Christmas. So that's what I'm attempting. And he makes it look way too easy.
He's been posting such great stuff lately too. It's just
Has anyone seen his Domestica thing yet?
I just been seeing like what he's been posting about it. It looks amazing.
Well, the advertisement for it is amazing.
I've seen the advertisement.
what's the Domestica thing?
It's a. Do you know what Domestica is, Bill?
No.
Oh, it's they're really cheap online. I don't, you know, they're cheap meaning they don't cost a lot.
Right.
You know, online courses, art courses
Gotcha.
that are largely like really good. I've looked at a couple and it's like, damn, this is good stuff. And they're clean and it's got a very particular look. I think it's a really good idea.
Dan, can you help us out here a little bit and can you
Yeah.
tell the audience how to get that for free or how to
I haven't figured it out yet. I swear to God, I know. But if I do, I will definitely tell you because you made it too easy.
I was just gonna say, it's just, yeah, Dale, we can't really emphasize enough. It's just cheap.
Tawdry, cheap glasses, no quality.
Just-
no
yeah,
good
just like,
inspectors.
it's just like the cheapest information.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm slowing the uptake. Am I advertising competition?
Yeah.
I mean, there's no
Now,
interaction.
if you want something like quality value, you know, I think this is a great place to start.
Well, I mean, there's no interaction or anything like that. You know, there's
Well,
no.
I'm teasing. We
It's
would have
funny.
we
It's
would have
funny
just
that you say that.
censored you if John and I had actually had a problem with it. I would have hit
It's funny.
the mute button, just gone full dictator.
You know
Hey,
what's funny
oh,
about that?
Somebody wants to know where you get one of the velvety sketchbooks from.
Oh God, what's the name of that thing? Hold on.
And then there's another question. Is anyone planning to attend Icon 11 in 2022?
I think I'm going. Yeah. So it's. Can you see this?
Royal
Koval Sketchbooks.
Okola.
Koval. And man, it's nice. I can't even touch it. So Timmy, what's funny about that whole line of thought, you know, the competition and all that, in television,
Yeah.
it's not happening now, but like on my wife's station, if they weren't carrying the Super Bowl, you know, if they didn't have it on their air, then they wouldn't. Hello?
Sorry, my dog got really worked up about the Super Bowl.
Oh, did your dog see John? Was that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like they couldn't even mention the Super Bowl because it was on a competitor's.
Oh, wow.
Like it doesn't exist.
Right. Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
hilarious.
Or would they
it
talk
a-
like non-specifically about the thing that happens after the other stuff?
Right.
I mean, the big game.
The big game.
Yeah, no. It's such a different thing than us, but we were just teasing.
No, I know.
Yeah. Do you have any other online education you want to pitch?
Well, there's always LiveBrush, but that guy.
I saw that one coming.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
we
I
were
thought
talking,
Ray was gonna pop in.
we were
Oh, I
talking
liked it. Somebody says, I've taken one, kind of boring, lacks real person communication.
That's awesome.
Like right on. Nicole, free classes indefinitely. Yeah.
I had an answer to the icon. I will definitely be there, but I'm not going to it. It's coming to me.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah.
I just want to know when the party is at your house, John. I know it's going to be a really, really wild affair.
You know what? We should do if there's any crossover on a Thursday, we should do a illustration isolation together. That would be
Oh,
fun.
live.
A live illustration isolation
Oh, that's cool.
in the same space. Yeah.
It should be an icon panel.
That would be fun. I heard they're pretty serious though, Bill. I don't know if we would make the cut, but I'll look into it.
Who are serious? The icon people?
Yeah, I'm just teasing.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that would be a great idea, actually. I'm gonna look into that. So Dale, how excited was your daughter for the film?
Oh, pretty stoked, man. She was.
Anybody wondering, Dale's daughter was a production assistant on
Yeah.
Don't Look Up, the new DiCaprio film.
Yep.
Pretty cool. I loved it.
It was
How good was
great.
he,
I
huh?
really enjoyed it.
He was so good. I did
Yeah.
not realize. I mean, I know he's a great actor, but like that was an interesting role for him. That was awesome.
Who?
DiCaprio.
Oh yeah. I I feel like this will probably come out wrong, but I feel like he does well when he's not trying to be pretty, you know, like
Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
agree. Don't you think he's given that whole pretty thing up though? Like, when's the last time he was pretty?
yeah, I can't remember.
Maybe Gatsby,
Yeah.
but like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was not pretty,
No.
and he
You're
was
right.
amazing in that.
You know the kind of when
Pretty,
you
it's just hard to be pretty next to Brad Pitt.
True, it's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think of like he kind of has he's as pretty as like a Humphrey Bogart type, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of feel like he's modeling himself after Jack Nicholson.
oh maybe, yeah.
I could see that. I mean, he always does such weird stuff for his roles where it's kind of like big swings, which I love. Yeah.
That's that scene in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood in the trailer.
Oh my God.
It's incredible. Threatening himself if he ever drank again.
Oh, yeah.
As a director, like you must look at that and just be like, oh my God, look what I got.
Hmm.
Right?
I also feel like if it wasn't DiCaprio, you'd be like, this actor is nuts.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I heard an interview with Nick Cage where he explains like working with the Coen brothers on Raising Arizona, and they kind of notoriously did not get along on that movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and Nick Cage basically goes, "Look, you've got to see this from my perspective. These two brothers like did not have the reputation that they have today when I was working with them. So it was pretty, it was a lot bigger. It was a much bigger buy-in than it is of like George Clooney getting Coen brothers part,
Right.
Because now, like, if you end up on set with either of those guys, you're like, yes, sir. Whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Which I'm really excited. I just to keep rolling with that. Have you seen trailers for the new Macbeth?
Yes.
No, I meant to look
I've
them
seen
up.
pictures of it, but I haven't seen the
Oh
trailer.
my God, I messaged, I don't know if we've agreed to do it, but I messaged John about it to do a Macbeth night because the imagery looks awesome.
Oh, fun. That sounds great. When
Very
does that come
very
out?
Seventh Seal.
Oh, that's awesome. When does the actual movie come out?
I think it comes out this week. I'm not sure.
I think it's the 7th.
Okay.
Next weekend?
Adele Rodriguez did the that little logo the knife with the,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah,
Oh, the poster for it, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Love it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love his work. He does such great stuff.
You gotta have him if you can. He's got such an amazing story. He'd be a great speaker.
Good illustrator.
Yeah.
So I think this is the 5-minute warning for our first pose.
Ugh. Sorry, I should have been more silent. I am like still trying to understand this gouache.
I'm just, sometimes you put a face down and it's like, I'm not sure who that's supposed to be, but that's not the guy
That
I'm
looks
looking
great,
for.
Dale. That's cool. I like
No.
that you put the groundhog in as well.
The groundhog is the best part of it for me.
Oh, totally.
it's-
The expression on the groundhog.
I historically have a hard time drawing Bill Murray for some reason. I don't know why. He should be easy, but
Not. I'm battling with him.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, I've had to draw him several times for jobs, and each time I'm like, dang, it's just not. He looks like a Jack Davis character,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That's- That looks good, Cassandra. I don't know what you're talking
Oh,
about. Very cool.
thanks. I don't know. I feel like
Oh,
I
yeah.
could be farther.
Oh, Bill, that's good. Really good.
Oh, thanks.
And John, I'm liking that light that you're putting in there.
Yeah.
Julie wants to know who's the upcoming Studio Bridge artists after Lake.
We're gonna announce that real soon.
Ooh, okay. Nice suspense you're building there.
We're jockeying around a couple of people, and as soon as we got it figured out,
Yeah, it should be in a couple weeks. But we did make the announcement for all the guest speakers, not all of them, but the first half of 2022 for visual arts.
Yeah, you got Tim O'Brien coming up, and
Yeah, I'm gonna drop a link because we've got a page with all of them collected together, and it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's an impressive list.
Yeah, I'll just read them off because I think it's pretty great. This is the first year we've had the whole lineup, most of the whole lineup. This is about 50% of it a year out, but Tim O'Brien, Ashley Lovett, Ed Binkley, Alexandria Neonakis,
Huh.
Omar Hashem, who's a character artist, Ashley Swidowski and concept, Afua Richardson, really awesome comic book artist. She worked on the Eisner award-winning Black Panther comic.
oh, cool.
Yeah, Chris Ron, Thomas Blackshear's coming back again.
Oh, fantastic.
Carlo Ortiz is coming back, which is great. It's been a minute since we've had Carlo in a classroom. Kellen Jett, Grace Liu, my little puppy's getting zoomies right now. Robert Hunt, Gil Ashby, and Sam Hogg. So if you sign up for 2022, you're going to be in a classroom with all those people, which is pretty awesome.
That's so cool. I love Ed Binkley's work so much. I think it's so cool.
There's I know a lot of you won't pick up on it, but some of you that are real serious, that was kind of a who's who list of a lot of contemporary illustration there. Some
No
really
kidding.
strong
Yeah,
artists.
this is a serious group of people.
Yeah.
This is like, it's like being in the best jail in the world. I get my meals served at regular intervals.
This is day 3 of isolation, and it's good. This is kind of like a journaling mile marker.
Yeah, are you gonna vlog this experience?
Yeah, I'll be free next time. Next time we meet, I'll be on parole.
Tomorrow it's gonna or Saturday is gonna be, this is the worst jail I've ever been in. They're feeding me the same stuff every day. They've gotten tired of cooking.
I know.
They just
They
shove
won't
the
even
TV
come-
dinners in the
I know. They're not even standing in the door and looking at me anymore.
door.
I'm just imagining like opening this webinar on accident, you being in here drawing.
Oh, they think I'm in jail.
They're taking my chair away.
Do you
Yeah.
have like the equivalent of like a Wilson ball to talk to, you know?
I have, I have. I've got this guy. My buddy.
Next time we see you, it'll be painted with eyes. So like come down and look at you.
See, lipstick smears.
He's gonna put his hand in front of it and do the little moving mouth thing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great.
Next week it'll have turned into this guy.
Oh,
Will
Dale,
you be
you got,
quoting,
yeah.
you know, Hamlet?
Dale, you have a whole social support group there for you. This is great.
I know.
You do like 3 stages, like, you're the first stage, the mannequin's the second stage, the skull's the.
Yeah.
And there's just a pile of dust.
I have plenty of those, actually.
Oh, we have a question here from Ocean Salazar. Hi, everyone. What would you say are the biggest differences between publishing novels, book covers, and editorial illustrations, magazines, web, etc.? The difference between books and editorial, I guess, is the.
I don't know. What do you think, Bill?
I have no idea. I mean, I think it's a matter of, well, the pay is very different. I think that's part of it, but also the time involved in the project. Usually you have a longer time period if you're working on a book than if you're doing an editorial piece. It's kind of
Depends if you're talking about book cover or book, actually picture book itself.
yeah. Then there's also with book covers is there's also a lot more. There's a lot more time, so there's a lot more. My experience has been there's a lot more back and forth in order to do sketches and get approval, and the approval process seems to be longer.
Yeah, editorial's a few days, and there's no time for people to make tons of decisions. Usually it's get us something we can use, and then if I think the people who can make something really good under those circumstances are the ones who survive.
On that note, we are past, we're a few minutes past our first pose, so we're going to move on to pose number 2. So grab the next image, and before you move on, please post your work to Instagram using #illustration_isolation and @visualartspassage. Don't wait until the end, though. Do it now.
Before the night's over, somebody could explain Bill Murray's hair to me. I cannot figure this out at all.
I would call it fancy free.
It is different. It almost looks like a perm on the left-hand side.
I agree. Yeah, I was having a hard time with that.
I'm like having a hard time with the whole thing. This is rough.
I think Andy's going to be rough for me. I don't know why.
She's a classic beauty with a very symmetrical face, and I think that's tough.
I think that's it right there. Yeah, I saw the movie. I watched the movie Time After Time again, and it's got a very young Mary Steenburgen in it. And there's almost no character in her face at all. I mean, her face is really smooth in it. And the less there is there to hang on to, like wrinkles or whatever, the harder I think it is for me.
I just paint the groundhog and just let that be it.
I kind of did the opposite. I did Bill Murray and just like a line of the groundhog.
Like your little peekaboo face of the groundhog there. That's what I'm enjoying.
Oh, that's cute. I like that.
I'm sorry, I have to get the groundhog in.
Yeah. I like that light on Bill Murray's face, though. That's cool.
Yeah, it's really nice light.
That really makes it. I feel like there's this movie and then that movie Michael, where she played like a really wholesome.
Yeah, and they seem like they're right around the same time.
Yeah, they're like the same character, you know, just.
Is Michael when John Travolta is an angel?
Yes.
Mhm.
I like that movie.
Yeah, I like that movie.
I just always remember the line where he was like, I invented the line. Before me, like people were just roaming around.
Oh my God, really? That's funny.
Back when William Hurt was a leading man type.
What happened to William Hurt?
He's played
He was
like.
more into being a character actor. Like that's a really good point, Bill.
Yeah. I mean, the last thing I saw him in was the Avengers movies.
Oh, was he?
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So what happened is he made a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm woefully uncaught up on my Avengers movies.
You're not missing much.
I thought they were fun.
No, they are fun, but like they're kind of in a realm of movie that I can watch. So if I'm working on something, I need to have something on like the radio or music or a movie. And there's a certain sort of depth or lack thereof to a movie that's perfect for that.
Mm.
You know, where I don't really have to pay too much attention to it.
Was he in Better Call Saul?
What's that?
Was William Hurt in Better Call Saul?
No.
No.
What was that? I'm trying to think of the role he played where he was the really demented old man. What was it?
The wheels are spinning.
Dale.
Somebody says Goliath.
There you go. That's what I was trying to think of.
Here we go. Nice.
Thank you.
Thank God. No, that was great. William Hurt. I enjoy the Marvel movies, but I don't think that they've been great for cinema in general. And I think that there's a lot of data to demonstrate that that is true, that they've pushed out the mid-level, like mid-tier movie and drama. But they're still, I mean, they're fantastic. They're really fun stories. They're great stories and I enjoy them.
I mean, I sat through Zack Snyder's Justice League, all 4 hours of it.
Yeah.
And when I'm working, if I'm drawing and painting stuff, it's no better or no worse than the Avengers movies. It's just the same, it's got about the same level of story to it.
I don't know, man.
I mean,
Marvel movies sure feel more fun to watch for me. That's all I can say. I can't say that they're better, but God, they feel a lot less painful to watch.
Oh no, I agree with that, and they're better put together. But just in terms of like the amount of attention that I need to follow what's going on.
I really liked Suicide Squad. I thought that was really great.
Oh, that was really fun.
Yeah.
Which one? The second one or the first one?
The second one. I don't know.
Second
that I've
one.
seen the first one. Yeah.
And
That opening sequence.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So Timmy, was that a Zack Snyder observation in general, or just that movie?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not an aficionado of like the comic book cinema universe. But I would just say that like generally if somebody's like, we're gonna watch a Marvel movie, I'm like, it's probably gonna be stunning visually. The story is probably gonna be pretty compelling. I feel like most of those films are gonna be at that tier, but 4 hours is pretty self-indulgent in my opinion.
No, I agree, but it was better than the 2-hour version.
Well,
yeah, because from my understanding, the 2-hour version is like nonsensical.
Well, yeah, it was very confusing because they were they introduced like a different version of Batman than they had in previous ones. And like for me, I was looking for the 4-hour one to have more character development, and I still felt like they could have done more and they didn't. So that's more where I was disappointed, but I still watched it, so I was still engaged. But
gosh, I just think of like these like just master artists of cinema, like Scorsese, Tarantino, and like none of them. I mean, they've all tried to make 4-hour films, but eventually they ended up in a meeting with a studio or producer. They were like, "Look, man, it's not a good idea. Don't do it." And for whatever reason, Zack Snyder was like, just insistent enough that it happened. I just think like, yeah.
Well, he wasn't really allowed the closure on it because the first one, like
sure, and I don't know. Yeah, I should say I don't really know I just know that it got destroyed by editing the first one.
Well, no, a different director had to take over because there was something that happened in his family.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So like there was a reason that it just didn't sync up because it was two different. Joss Whedon had to take over. Joss Whedon had to come in halfway. Like it was like that was just a complicated situation that I felt like no one was able to pull out of.
Well, my favorite.
So wait a minute.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
The 4-hour, what movie were we talking about?
No. The first one, the like
Justice League.
one that took off
League.
that the footage from the first one, there was so much footage that didn't get used. They actually didn't even have to reshoot. He just pulled the stuff that he wished he could have been used or wished it could have gone in.
Okay.
My favorite like graphic that came from all of that was it's just like a graphic art of a silhouette of Superman with a mustache on, and the text under it just says "Fix it in pre."
What did the text say?
Fix it in pre, like fix it when you shoot it.
Oh yeah, because he had a mustache for a different movie.
He had a mustache for a different movie. They tried to fix it in post, and it looks awful. Yeah.
I didn't notice that in the 4-hour version. I noticed that in the 2-hour version. I think they might have taken that
because they diluted the mustache.
I don't know, but
Bill, you had 4 hours to notice it.
yeah,
Come on, man.
I watched it over a course of 2 hours. 2 hours sitting. I did for 4 hours.
okay.
To watch this, so.
Yeah, I mean, even Tarantino, Kill Bill, that was originally a single film, and they were like, no way.
Well, I think that's why a lot of people are moving into like streaming shows and stuff because it gives them the
Uh-huh.
time to develop the story, and that's exciting.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like the Ballad of Buster Scruggs, that was originally conceived as a series, wasn't it? It's just the opposite. The Coen Brothers movie.
Oh, was it?
Know that. Yeah.
Me neither.
I like that film a lot. That was
I
fun.
love that. That's one of my favorites.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
It's
Oh,
fun.
it's so good. Pardon me, I have idiot brain. What do you call it when you have a bunch of
Vignette.
stories? Pardon me?
Anthology.
Vignette.
Yes, thank you. And they're all different stories. So if you don't like one, you can just move on. You know, you can wait 10 minutes and you're going to get a different film, basically.
Nice.
But they're all good.
And the cutscenes were use artwork by Greg Manchis. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Didn't know that.
but I, the Tom Waits one is one.
Oh,
I just love that.
that and the very last one in the coach,
Yeah,
the stagecoach.
yeah.
All of them are good.
Here's a question from Ocean. What are some
Hey,
ways
Ocean.
What are some ways to practice capturing likeness and facial accuracy? Or do you have some of your biggest tips for doing so?
I'm going to sound like a real wise guy, but practice capturing likenesses.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, you just have to do it a lot.
A lot.
But also, like, look at the shapes. Like, people, tonight is I'm not on, so this isn't my best likeness night. But like looking at the shapes that make it more unique to that person, and like practicing seeing those things.
It's a lot of repetition.
Yeah, I mean, it's little things like Andy McDowell's eyebrows don't go straight across; they go up at a slight V. And that's just a little. That's partly the expression on her face, and that's partly her face. Like the shape of her nose, the top of her nose is what she doesn't have a very narrow nose. She's got kind of a wider nose. Just noticing those things, and
Yeah, that's a good point, Bill. And Ocean, I know you are already really good at this. Look at what really strikes you about the person's face, to just piggyback on what Bill was just saying. If someone's exaggerate it first and then pull back. So if someone's eyes are close together, exaggerate that, or if they've got a wide face, exaggerate that. Practice drawing them how you see them rather than recording how they are, because you have to get really good at both. You have to get good at just the simple act of sort of being a visual stenographer and being able to record the things you see, and being able to express what it is you feel is interesting about the person.
yeah, it's well
Do you
put.
feel like there's a medium that lends best
Oh, yeah.
to getting better?
A medium what?
Do you think that there's a medium of like, or do you just recommend artists use whatever tools they want to accelerate at?
Or do you mean like an actual media?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Oh, no, I mean, no, whatever floats your boat.
Mhm.
For me, I mean, like I started off with just Sharpie
Uh-huh.
markers, and then I grew more cowardly, and now I use pencils.
I also look back at drawing. I was looking for a particular drawing today, so I had to go through a stack of old drawings, and I noticed on a few drawings I had drawn people's eyes completely uneven, one eye much higher than the other. And then I went back and looked at the reference, and the photos, and tried to decide, do their eyes really do that, or is that just the way I see things? How would I recapture that now? So like redrawing the same thing you've done before, revisiting something can be really helpful.
Well, one of the things that taught me a lot about drawing people's likenesses was watching Chris.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He starts, and he said, the first thing I do, and I kind of do it by finding the overall shape of it before I get into any detail. He said he tries to find the gesture of the head, what he calls, I just want the shape, the gesture of the head, and then worry about, then he starts finding the things in relationship to its overall shape. And I do, in a very different way, I do the same thing. Not as fast as he does.
He's so fast.
But yeah, it's just practice, and you're gonna, strike out probably more often than you get a home run.
That's the great, excuse me, that's the great thing though, is you can strike out and hit a home run in the same drawing, I mean, if you just keep at it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just try to strike out first.
Yeah. Yeah, don't hit the home run and then do the reverse strikeout.
Right.
I do the reverse strikeout.
No, you don't.
Yeah, no, you don't.
No, you don't.
Well, I do, and I'm willing to risk it, because if I don't go through those motions to do it, I never do a good drawing.
But what would you consider to be striking out?
Oh, overworking it. Missing something that you should have caught. It's like, I love Dale says this in study hall a lot. It said, we're talking about something that we should have been talking about at the thumbnail stage.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And, I'll find myself like, oh, I should have saw that when I was laying that, getting the shape of it, when I got the shape of it wrong or something, when I was laying down my original structure of the drawing. So
Boy, her face is really.
things come, for me, things kind of like all come together at one time. It's like, it doesn't look like anything for the longest time. It's just kind of a big blur. And then when they start to come together, you kind of get this feeling like, oh yeah, I got this. Everything's in the right place now. And then
Yeah.
Oh, that's the best feeling.
Yes.
I can choose to edit or change or do what I want to at that point. But the first part is finding it, getting the drawing part right.
John, for your process, does photo reference always follow your thumbnail process?
Well, something like this, obviously not. Oh,
Sure. But like if you were, let's say you're doing like an editorial project.
I try to do as much of the, picture making aspect of it, design work. I try to do as much of that from memory. And then my photo reference is very, it's like I'm directing it with my thumbnails. And my thumbnails are like storyboards for what my reference needs to be.
That's really interesting. We're 5 minutes out.
No, don't say that.
No.
Those three.
I started this one really late. I worked on Bill too long.
Yeah.
Was Bill worth it, John?
Yeah, I kind of like it how it came out.
All right.
Well,
I liked it. And I was especially loving your little peekaboo groundhog.
Yeah.
Well then, there you go.
yeah, well, I may continue on with this one because
Here's a question from Anonymous. I'm assuming the hacking group Anonymous. Has anyone tried, and I don't know this, Sumi, so SUMI dash,
Yeah.
what's that?
Sumi Inc.
Yeah, for portraitures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What principles do you follow using it? That's the follow-up question.
Make a good picture.
Yeah, I mean, it's just ink,
That's just ink. Yeah.
and if you're using a Sumi brush, I mean, it's like drawing with any brush. It just has its own properties, its own.
Yeah, you're forced into a certain set of circumstances, and you just have to work within that. Those are fun because they're not really, you can't control them as well as you can other media.
Yeah, I feel like it loosens me up. Jeff here, he uses in the crowd, he does a lot of work with Sumi brushes.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
How I use Sumi ink is I bought quite a few bottles, and I have them sitting across my studio unopened. That's the best way for me to use ink.
Just look at them, you don't touch them.
Now,
So
see,
Like Dale in his fancy sketchbook.
that's
Mhm.
right.
yeah, I've seen what George Pratt can do with Sumi ink, and I'm just like, nah, I'll just let him hang on to that. And
But you don't draw next to George Pratt with Sumi ink. That's the first.
Yeah, that's rule one.
I think Hugo Shimizu pretty much
Oh yeah.
deals with that exclusively. And her stuff it's so well done and so intricate, but if you really look, there's a lot of kind of chaos in the line, and she's kind of controlling the mayhem, so to speak, right?
Yeah. I like watching her.
She's amazing.
Like her,
Man.
She shows her sketches too, and
Yeah. We got to get her in here, Timmy.
Unfortunately, Dale, you're top of the line that I can get in here. We've communicated with Yuko quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a long-term project to get her in a classroom.
Yeah, I imagine.
Yeah, would love to. We'd be very lucky.
I thought we came to it at one point. I thought we were there.
I think we came really close. I'm trying to remember. We might be there. I don't know. I'm gonna have to talk to Alice. Yeah.
She agreed to do it, I believe, and then
Oh, that's what happened.
when the date came up, it was like kind of disappeared again.
Oh, no.
Busy. Yeah.
All right.
Which is fine. A lot of artists. I mean, that's the nature of having a program taught by working artists. Yeah.
Yep. You want to get really good people, they're going to be busy.
Yeah. When you hire someone like Carlo Ortiz, like there's a good chance Carlo's going to be like, hey, Marvel called. And we're not gonna be the ones to say no Black Panther 2 or whatever. Yeah.
that's better.
So for the holidays, I don't know what your guys' holidays were like, but for our holidays, we went to my mom's house, and my brother and sister, both my brothers and sister-in-laws were in town. My brother Tony has 2 dogs. My older brother has a dog. My mom has 2 dogs, and I have 3 dogs. So that makes the dogs outnumber the people. In our house, we were all at my mom's house. All of the dogs were out, and it was like a pack. It was
Wow. So does everybody get along?
The dogs, no, that which is actually makes it kind of hilarious because I mean, assuming nothing bad happens, it's hilarious because there's all of these different combinations where you're like, oh, is Echo out? Oh my gosh, somebody get Cora. Cora can't be out. And then it's like, but Cora doesn't go along with Belle. It's like
Wow.
But the family all gets along.
I
So-
love that that's your holiday drama. It's like which dogs can be around each other.
Yeah, it's actually really nice that the dogs have more of a social problem than the people.
Yeah, if you're gonna have a problem, like that's a pretty good place to be in, I think.
Yeah. They're all very political dogs. So
I mean, going over to your house during the holidays.
yeah, I mean, it literally is like a wolf pack. And I've got this 6-month-old puppy that she's got zoomies right now. So she's like sprinting around our house. Which I had not heard of that. I had never had a dog with that, but she
What
gets
is
like,
it?
they call it zoomies, but she gets like an uncontrollable burst of energy out of nowhere and just like bounces off the walls for like 10 minutes.
My mom Scotty does that.
But then she like she's like super chill, like out of nowhere, but then just goes nuts. Like it's I had never seen a dog do it before. It's really weird. It's like a burst of endorphins or something. Which on that topic, on the burst of endorphins, we're not moving on to our final pose.
Oh, thank God, because this one sucks. Not the pose, the drawing.
Yeah. So we're moving on to pose 3. You can choose A or B. So it's either a couple or what's his name?
Ned.
Ned. Yeah.
Oh,
I
that
just feel like
guy's
hear him in my head.
that's such a Chris Payne drawing right there.
Yeah.
That whole series with Ned is some of my favorite stuff in the whole movie. You know, especially when he walks up to him and he whispers in his ear. He's like, "I have been waiting so long to see." That and the piano lessons. You know, are you sure this is the first lesson you've taken? Is that Daniel Stern in that movie?
No.
Who's the cameraman guy?
Oh, is that Daniel Stern?
I thought that was Daniel Stern.
Maybe.
Oh, Chris Elliott. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. He's hilarious in Shit Creek.
Wait, is it Schitt's Creek or Shit Creek?
I think it's Schitt's Creek.
I thought it was Shits, but if it's shit, that's gonna blow my mind also.
Like
Too
the minute
many-
you say it, I'm like completely questioning. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. What is reality? Yeah, I just watched The Matrix, the original Matrix, and it's very relevant right now.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Has anyone seen that new one, the new Matrix?
I haven't watched it.
I'm planning to. So no spoilers, please.
I saw it.
Can you give any spoilers, please?
Yeah. Please don't.
Did they finally kill that Neo guy? Does John Wick come in and kill Neo?
John Wick, yeah.
His other reality. Oh my God, I'm John Wick.
That was more.
Looks like John Wick.
He's
Inside the
Batman.
Matrix.
Was that Cassandra?
I just thought that Dale sounded more Liam Neeson meets Batman.
What the hell? As long as it sounds like someone.
No, I like. There were things about it that I liked, but
Yeah.
I've got my issues with the whole Matrix thing have to do with the idea of determinism versus choice.
Okay.
Because both the machines and the people say, well, there is no choice, it's all, you just have to understand why, but the whole movie hinges upon somebody making choices. So everybody's so entrenched in the philosophy, and it's like, it's just a movie about slow motion bullets. Can it just be that?
Oh gosh, I feel so strongly opposed to that, Bill.
Oh, that's
Oh,
okay.
awesome.
That's so interesting that you have, man.
What?
Oh, I just, to
Opposed
me,
which part?
it feels like a movie that has like a lot to say. And I rewatched, the original that came out in 99, I think.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of blown away by like how ahead of its time it was with like the concept of AI and like the concept, not that it was like an unheard of conversation, but it did not feel like a movie from 1999.
Right.
It felt very contemporary to today, and conversations that I hear billionaires talking about, about like ultimate reality and things like that, or first reality versus secondary. But
Yeah, no, I get that
but
stuff.
also I'm not watching it with like the lens of the second and third ones, which I don't remember being as moved by the second and third ones as
Yeah.
much as the first one.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing is, the second and third ones, they just get into this whole thing about, there is no choice. You don't get a choice. It's not, you've already made the choice. You have to understand the choice.
But when they go see the
Oracle.
the oracle, and then the oracle says you're not the one,
Yeah.
and then what is it at the end? They were like, she told you what you needed to hear.
Yeah, exactly. And so
I loved that.
and I like that too, but
Yeah,
so have you not seen the second and third one?
I have, but I was like in grade school, so like,
Oh, okay.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
yeah,
I know, I feel old.
like,
Yeah,
What?
now I feel old.
yeah. Just remember
but-
the dudes that they were the albino brothers, correct?
Yeah.
And like there's a highway scene.
Yeah.
What was cool was in the second and third ones, I know that this isn't true, but the first one had this feeling of like a lot of it was like very practical effects. I mean, I know not all of it, but a lot of it was. And I feel with like the second and third one, he started to have that like Gumby effect where he like is kind of like Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah.
With the CGI, his arms kind of fold a little too much. They bend in ways in which a man's arm can't bend.
So much of those, the second and third one, so much more of those were CGI.
Yeah.
Than the first one. And but I mean, yeah, I mean, to me, it's just, I see, I'm a big fan of rom-coms. I like, and the reason I like them is because they're all about character, and characters have flaws, have wants, have needs, but they make choices, and those choices drive the plot.
Yeah.
And so to hear a movie where a bunch of the characters are preaching that your choices are not important, or that you've already made the choice, et cetera, and then I didn't mind if the machines had said there's no choice, but the humans also sort of say there's no choice as well.
Right.
And so except for Neo, where you're like, well, choices, it's a determinist philosophy that is not that I'm not in agreement with.
What's funny is you only have to talk about the Matrix franchise for like 5 minutes before anyone does, before it just sounds like stoned college kids.
Yeah.
Is that what I'm sounding like?
No. Because I was thinking about my response, and I was like, I'm not going to drag everybody through. Because you start to realize that you're like, oh my gosh, it's really, I mean, the Matrix does a better job of saying it than I do, so I'm not going to say it.
Right.
But it is funny, I think, that there are certain movies like that. I do like that it's ripe for conversation as a movie, which
Yeah.
I felt like that about Don't Look Up. After I watched that, I just kept thinking about it as a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it like stuck with me for like a couple days, which I see movies all the time that like the second it ends, I don't think about it ever again.
Yep. Yep.
You know? Yeah. So no, Bill, you didn't sound like a stoned college kid. My response was gonna sound like that.
Well, that's good.
And I
Well, I
decided
really liked your observation about rom-coms too. I think that's really fun.
Well, yeah, because they're all character driven. And
Yeah.
and um I saw a movie the other day that I thought was going to be a rom-com called Thanks for Sharing. But it was
Oh, I thought it was going to be one of the Fast and Furious movies.
yeah.
But it was really about
Bill's like it was called A Marriage Story.
anyway.
It wasn't funny. It wasn't funny at all.
No, I found it hilarious in a really dark way.
No, I'm just kidding. I just was imagining Bill being like, "Oh, it was so scary."
Really?
That's my mute button.
I haven't seen A Marriage Story, so
I haven't.
I haven't seen A Marriage Story either.
That's a hell of a movie.
yeah. Or what was the one with Adam Driver? That's not A Marriage
Oh, that's the
Story.
one I'm thinking of.
There's one with man. A
With
Marriage
like
Story-
Oscar.
Oscar
something or other.
Isaac?
Isaacson? Or Isaac?
Oh no, that's
Scenes
maybe-
from the Marriage.
Scenes from a Marriage. Yeah.
I don't know why you.
I said the right one, Marriage Story. I just
Yeah.
Gianna watched A Marriage Story, I think like the week before we got married. And I
Oh,
was just
great.
like, I would just like walk in and out of the room and be like, oof, sure about this?
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been great.
Good save there, Timmy.
Sure. Sure, Timmy.
Good save.
It's
Of course
great.
it has. Of course it has.
Yeah.
For both of you.
For everybody, all parties.
Oh gosh.
Great. Yeah, no, fine.
Right now, Gianna's on another Zoom call talking about
No,
this.
no, she's at her brother's house right now, or else I would have like whispered that to them. Yeah, no, I'm teasing.
I saw the new Will Smith movie where he's like the dad of Venus.
Williams.
Did you see that?
Yeah. Wow. Was that good?
It was really good. And like, I mean, I feel like it's hard to see to like watch a Will Smith movie and not think about him being Will Smith. And he did a great job.
He really did.
King Richard, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I thought it was a wonderful story. And like, it's just talking about, like his reasonings behind the choices he made as a parent. And you're trying to figure out, like, is it altruistic? Is it selfish? Is it a little bit of both? And, he like helped make something amazing happen for his children. And it was just a really dynamic story.
Cool.
Really was. All the acting was really good.
So, I mean,
Whatever.
everybody was amazing in it, but, Will Smith was such a big name. I was afraid I wouldn't be able to get into it as him playing somebody else, but he was fantastic.
Yeah, and he wasn't really likable at all.
No,
I didn't-
no,
yeah, I
he was
didn't-
kind of curmudgeon-y at times. And
Yeah. Like I never found myself really pulling for him, except for
Right.
like when he was at the white clubs and all that. But
He's a very unlikable guy.
yeah.
Really?
And he was also, my opinion, of following his story at real time for years. I don't think he's a very good guy. That's
Yeah.
my, I mean, he's got, 5 other children.
Right.
Just left behind. So I don't.
I mean, like, I will say I applauded them that they didn't try to soften it. Like, they really
No.
tried to show him for like a good view of what that man really looked like.
Yep.
Wow.
Is this based on a real person's life?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's the father of
Yeah.
Serena and Venus Williams.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And like, I mean, yeah, they're like you were saying, all the acting was phenomenal. And I'm always a sucker for like a sports movie. So like the minute it was coming out, I was like, oh, I'm gonna see that.
That's funny.
What he did was absolutely amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
how he led their careers, all of that. I'm just talking about the rest of it.
Yeah.
The other parts of his being a father.
Well, it's, it's like Tiger Woods's
Yeah,
father, right?
really pretty complicated because also like, I think the best telling of that kind of story is with the film Whiplash, where it's like,
Oof,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
what like there's a like excellence comes at like a trade kind of like like, or does it? I guess that's the
Mhm.
argument of that film is like J.K. Simmons is this monster, but like would the protagonist have achieved excellence without pressure, right?
Hmm.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't
I
know. I mean,
think
when you say pressure, when I say excellence, I mean like genius level of not just like success, but right? Does that make
Mhm.
sense? Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I know two people who I would consider that level, and one of them definitely had a parent like that.
Yeah.
She was well, I shouldn't name her because I just said that about her mother, but she was she won a lot of gold medals swimming in the Olympics. And her mother was definitely like that.
Yeah.
6 kids, and whoever was the best got the attention. But the other one I know
That would be
really,
so difficult. I mean, I can't even imagine the pressure of it. Like,
yeah,
just like fighting for attention.
and it was hard to watch. I was a coach at a very early phase. I had absolutely no effect on the outcome. But just seeing it even at that age, I was like, "Whoa, that is hard to watch." Like, it became a thing where they were actually asked to leave this facility permanently, because
Wow.
the mother was, really, really powerful. But the other person I know like that, exactly the opposite. So I mean, there's no one.
Yeah. I mean, I did a lot of sports when I was younger, and I mean, it wasn't until I was in my like late teens that I realized that after like losing games, there were kids that like the remainder of their day was like a nightmare. It was just like hell
Yeah,
because of that, like because they did not perform at the
yeah.
level
You
that
didn't fulfill your father's
yeah.
unfulfilled dream, right?
Oof.
I
Oof.
saw that. I coached one of Gabriel's
Yeah.
uh, YMCA basketball things. I mean, these were like 5-year-old kids, and one of the fathers was like that to his
Yeah.
daughter, and it's like he just wouldn't shut up, and at the end, and you just saw the effect on the daughter at the end because he went to like give her a high five and she shined him on. It was just like
There, I think it's the Seahawks have a organizational psychologist that works with the coaches and the team, and they've essentially realized because there are certain athletes that perform better under pressure like that, and then there are certain athletes that actually they've demonstrated it really weakens their performance.
Yeah.
And so the coaches kind of have to switch personalities based on the athlete,
Huh.
because like back in the day it used to be just like they just yelled at everybody. And it was really interesting. I listened to an interview with him and he talks about like going through that process of like interviewing the players and like kind of determining like how coaches can have like a dynamic style. I'm trying to remember his name.
That's a tough balance.
Mhm.
it would be really difficult, especially because, you know, that's a sport where it's like it's a group sport. So like I even the athlete that's, you know, inspired by pressure, he'd be like, why are you yelling at why aren't you yelling at Timmy at all? They're like, well,
Yeah,
Timmy's sensitive.
yeah. That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, he tends to curl up in a ball when we yell
Right.
at him. And
Oh, you mean Timote?
yeah.
Timote.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, like,
So
I,
funny.
I've taught a lot of different students who've,
Yeah.
I'm sure some of them worked better under pressure,
Yeah.
but I can say that all of them improved with praise and with somebody actually paying attention to what they were doing and seeing what they were doing.
Yeah.
And it's not, I mean, making pictures is not the same thing as, you know, throwing a ball around the court and trying to get into a little hoop or whatever, you know.
We're kind of talking about approval though. I mean,
But I mean,
yeah.
but recognizing them and taking a more individualized approach
Uh-huh.
definitely works. But I don't know if there's enough data to say that you know, verbally abusing,
Oh, I don't mean verbal abuse. Yeah.
you know, or just putting pressure on them, if that definitely works or not, because
Yeah, I don't think no, I just to clarify, I don't think
yeah,
I don't think verbal abuse would work for anything.
yeah.
There's a fine line,
Yeah. Yeah.
one person's tough coach is another person's verbal abuser, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah,
So
totally. Yeah, we're all pretty complicated and different, you know. Like
You know, it's like the tough love argument. Is that the only thing that works? Are you sure that that's the thing? Was that the determining factor that made the difference, you know, or was it something else?
God, Bill, this goes like more in the direction of art, I guess. So I went to Rockhurst High School, which was like an all boys school. I mean, pretty nice academic education, but my teachers, especially for writing, it has a really strong writing program. My
Yeah.
teachers were so mean. it was, it was, it was so painful. And I often think about it like through college into like my first job, I was a writer. Nobody was ever as strict as like English teachers my freshman year of high school.
Right.
Like even into the professional world of publishing. And it made it a lot easier for me.
yeah,
But I know that there were some kids that it like burnt out and like they didn't like they got left behind probably because of it, you know? But like it worked really well for me. So more to what I guess you were saying, Dale, it's like, yeah.
like that said, that my son went to an all boys school too, and it was a very similar thing. And like for him, that was a really, I'm not like that, so it was a good thing for him to experience, and he was able to stand up to it. But
Yeah.
what if it wasn't? You know what I mean? I'm sure for a lot of kids, that's a
Yeah.
really impossible thing to deal with. Then again, I've heard about your father, Timmy. So it sounds like you were kind of prepared for an adventure.
Yeah, it's funny. So my dad went to my high school,
Yeah.
and he when he was a grown man, he met with the president of the school, and they had lunch or something, um, and it's like no secret. My dad went on. He's kind of this really inspiring story. His dad died when he was really young, and he started a business and he paid for his tuition at Rockers by printing the school newspaper. I mean, it's just
Oh,
like kind of
wow.
Wow.
just like a
That's
ridiculous story.
crazy.
And like the teachers were so mean to him. They would kick him out of class for having ink on his hands.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, and like they were like so cruel. They would like have him go up in front of the class with ink on his hands and like tell other kids like this is why you have to go to college and stuff so you don't end up like Tim Trayvon.
Wow.
Oh yeah, they were like I've heard that story from multiple people that they did that to him. So
Oh my
mean.
gosh.
And so he met with the president when he was like, I guess he was probably like 55. And he was like, the president was like, what were your dreams when you were like 16 or 17? He was like, I wanted to grow up one day and have enough money to buy Rockhurst High School. And he was like, oh man, that is so inspiring. He goes, what made you want to do that? And he was like, so I could bulldoze it.
That is awesome. Awesome.
Yeah. He developed a much better relationship with high school as he did send me there, but yeah, I always thought that was, I don't know why I was telling that. Oh, just to capture my dad's, I guess, personality. But yeah. You'll appreciate this, Dale. When I was a senior, my dad got named Alumni of the Year or Alumnus of the Year. I don't know which one it is. And they had like one of those like high school, just like the sign you see in front of every high school
Yeah.
with like announcements on it. And it said, congratulations, Tim Trayvon, Alumnus of the Year. And so after school, I ran out and I climbed up on top of it and I had my friend take a photo of me
That's awesome.
posing on it. And I got teachers to believe that I had won Alumnus of the Year. It's great.
Did
I
you
still
ever-
have the photo, and somebody was like, dude, if you ever like have to hit the job market,
Yeah.
that would be an easy con.
Yeah, look what I was alumnus of the year when I was, how old are you? Like 17, 18?
Yeah, but I'm far enough away in the photo. People just be like, how old are you now? I think I'm like 45.
Funny.
Yeah.
Did your father ever see the photo?
Yeah. He actually heard about it because somebody had told him some kid climbed up and took a photo on top of his sign. And and he was like, that was probably my son. He was like, yeah. So
Well, that's definitely never going to happen at the high school I went to.
yeah.
So
Did you go to just a massive high school, Dale?
no, I went to a regional, like a regional 3-town high school
Yeah.
up in the sticks in Massachusetts. We moved from we were really close to Boston, right on the water, and then
Really?
when I was 14, we moved up to nowhere. Like we got to the town and we looked at the house, and I was like, I turned to my mother, I'm like, this isn't happening. And she's like, yes, it is. So
Actually, oh, Bill left. Did we lose Bill?
yeah, he didn't like your Matrix take.
Oh, man. Well, I was gonna ask him. I wanted to know if his high school in California had outdoor lockers.
Oh, that's freaky.
Isn't that the
That's
coolest?
the weirdest thing.
Man.
Like outdoor living campuses. That is,
Oh, I think that would be the dream.
oh, it'd be awesome. But like, it's sort of like when you have a dog that's always in the yard and then you let him off the leash somewhere. It's just boom, where'd he go? You know?
Yeah.
If I was ever in that situation,
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a lot harder to keep
yeah, I would
keep the students in place. Yeah.
Yeah, half the fun was figuring out my escape.
There was where I went to school, they used to let us go out for lunch, and like on state line at like noon was probably the most dangerous place you could be driving in Kansas City.
Oh, because it's a bunch of high school kids.
Just a bunch of high school kids trying to rush to get lunch somewhere.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
I did an exchange, like it was a short exchange in high school in Scotland. And like, yeah, like nobody ate lunch at the school. They all left and would either go home or just go grab it somewhere. And it blew my mind because I was definitely not allowed at my school.
Scotland.
Uh-huh.
How'd you like Scotland?
Oh, I loved it. It was wonderful.
It's on my list. I want to go to Scotland.
Yeah, I can't recommend it enough. Everybody was great, super sarcastic. So I felt like we all like got each other, and like they'd harp on you so hard, and I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm so comfortable here.
My people, if I ever get out of this room, I'm going to go to Scotland.
Do it.
I think the kitchen might be my first stop, though.
Yeah. Oh, Jeff said he visited relatives in Edinburgh, and they're honeymoon 31 years ago.
Oh, cool.
Super fun.
Does anybody have like post-COVID international travel dreams?
Oh, yeah.
Like
Mhm.
where's like first on your list?
I mean, I want to take my kids to Iceland.
Iceland?
I know.
I've been several times, and I love it there, and I just feel like it'd be great for them.
Oh, bringing the kids? That would
Yeah.
be cool. Have you ever traveled internationally with your kids?
No, I have not taken that on yet. Well, because like the pandemic kind of hit when they were 2.5, so
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
or
that'll-
like 3, I guess.
Somebody told me, is it kids under 2 get to travel for free? Is that true?
No, it depends. Like it means they have to sit on your lap and you're not paying for a
Oh.
seat, because we flew to Chicago and it was very complicated because they don't tell you when you're getting a ticket that like
Uh-huh.
I have 2 kids, and so you're not allowed to be in the same row if you have 2 kids under 2, because there's only so many masks to drop down. So I found out the hard way on the
Oh.
plane that my
Airlines
husband and
are
I
really-
had to sit
yeah.
in different spots with our
Wow.
kids apart.
Huh.
Wow. Yeah. So is it just it's anyone who can just sit on your lap?
No, they have to be, it's like 2 and under, and they're gonna sit on your lap. And then because we had to find different seats,
Yeah.
there was just a lot of disappointed people who were trying to avoid contact so they wouldn't have to switch seats, so that somebody was sitting next to me with a 2-year-old and my husband with a 2-year-old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Since being around infants the past year quite a bit, I have a newfound appreciation for parents with crying children in public spaces.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I gotta say, I did not have it all before this year.
Well, it's hard to understand when you're not going through it.
Yeah.
Like I totally understand. It's not like I think that like anybody's horrible for not wanting to be around like a
Right.
stressed out me and a kid who is not enjoying being on a plane, you know?
Yeah, but I've done like a full 180. I've done a complete 180 in how I feel about it.
That's
Oh,
funny.
that's great.
So it's gone from full hatred to just like a reluctant, grudging understanding.
Hatred is a really strong word, but yes.
Loathing. Sorry, loathing.
Loathing and misunderstanding, I think, probably, and judgment of like, why have you created this situation that we're all in?
That's funny. My
And now I'm-
attitude.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Now I'm more looking for the person that is behaving like I used to be, and judging them.
Yeah, I was going to say going for the superiority angle.
Yeah. I'm
Nice.
Like, who do you think you are? These
No,
poor
I don't
people.
judge, because it's overwhelming when you're not in it. And if you're not used
is.
to it, like when you're a parent, like it's your reality. Speaking of which, a kid's crying outside my door, so I'm gonna mute for a little bit.
Oh,
That sound now, it fills me with joy because it's not my problem. Seriously, every time I hear a crying kid, or like some toddler who's resisting and just like killing their parents, I'm just like, oh, music to my ears. It's not me. It's not me. Thank God it's not me anymore.
Yeah. I think we're coming up on our, I'm gonna say this is a 10-minute warning.
Oh, we did lose Bill, huh?
No, I'm still here. I just,
Just no video. That's okay.
no, I finished my drawing and I was having an off night, so.
That's okay. But
Yeah.
Bill, can you answer my question? Did you go to a high school with outdoor lockers?
Did I go to a high school with outdoor lockers?
Like a quad?
I
You
don't
know, like,
remember.
like California movie high school? Like,
You're right. They're always outside,
I
like in
think
the
they were
hallway.
outside,
open air.
but
They
they
were?
were like in a hallway. Yeah, they were outside, I believe, but they were like in a hallway leading to the inside, sort of. I don't remember inside lockers at all, so probably.
Wow.
what
What do you do when
what a
it snows, though?
But yeah, it snowed a lot in San Jose, so you know, it snowed once.
It actually snowed.
Yeah, it snowed once.
Wow.
I think I was in about fourth grade or so. But yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. They were different buildings. So we were outside going from class to class, which was a weird thing, you know. So you saw a lot more kids smoking on campus and
Yeah. I think we're supposed to get an ice storm on
oh
Friday.
God.
Hey guys, I'm gonna say Happy New Year's. My kids are melting down, and so I'm gonna go check on my poor husband.
As
Happy
cute,
New Year.
Oh,
as
man.
cute with my question.
Yeah, but I hope everybody's great. I'm sorry to miss looking at everyone's work, but I hope you all are well.
Hey,
All right.
Happy New
Hi,
Year.
Cassandra. I love your Ned, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I'm gonna keep working on him when my kids are asleep. He's fun.
Have a good night.
Night. Feel better, Dale.
Thank you.
John, that's looking great.
Yeah, John, that's awesome. That's the drawing of the night, I think. Of course, there's only two of us up here drawing on screen now, so.
That looks great too, Dale.
I'm gonna take a look at Dale's. I haven't seen it. Say something, Dale.
Hi, John.
Ah, there you go. It switches when you say something.
Oh.
Very nice.
Thank you.
I wiped out my drawing of Annie McDowell and drew Ned on top of her.
Oh, wow.
So I got rid of her completely.
It was that, like, you were like, I am wiping this out of
Yeah,
existence.
it just wasn't anything dramatic. It just wasn't working, you know, and
Sometimes they don't work out.
And not that he's worked out any better, but the real reason I turned my camera off was I got a text and I had to make a quick phone call. So
Oh, you don't have to make excuses to us, Phil.
well, I need.
You can duck out anytime you want. Timmy will start counting the minutes and he'll dock your pay accordingly. We have it on screen here for the recording, and don't worry, he'll catch up to you. The adjustment will be made.
You know where I live, you know. The Adjustment Bureau.
And they round to the nearest hour. So, oh yeah, I think it was like 8:31 my time. So I mean 8:29. So sorry, you're not going to make it this past.
I'm not getting hit at all tonight.
Dale, I have nothing to say to you.
See, we finally agree. You're letting me be the hammer, that's all.
Yeah, I appreciate it. That's what Dale, you have such a nice voice. I would call you, I've heard somebody say this before, you're kind of a velvet hammer.
No, the velvet hammer. You mean I'm a velvet hammer? My freaking velvet hammer.
Yeah.
Timmy's thinking about what other online school would he start talking about.
Yeah.
He's just trying to keep me from bringing it up.
Yeah.
The Velvet Hammer.
Um,
Dale Stefano's story.
who's the speaker, Neonakis, that we have coming up?
Alexandria Ionakis? Yes.
Alexandra?
Alexandria.
Alexandria. My wife's maiden name is Neonakis.
Really?
Yeah. There's not a lot of Neonakises. Even in the Greek community, you don't find a ton of them. So I wonder if they're distantly, well, we're all distantly related, but
Yeah.
Same village, probably.
That's interesting.
She was an academy student way back when.
Huh.
Good student.
Is your wife from Nova Scotia, Canada?
No. No.
That is where Alexandria is from.
Well, I guarantee you someone in her family's from the exact same village as Maria's grandmother is. Guarantee it.
That's the deal with Trebons. If your last name is Trebon, we are like very closely related, probably. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Or, connected obviously by marriage or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's funny is people pronounce it differently within our family.
Oh, that drives me nuts when people do that.
But what's funny is like I learned it recently. My dad changed the way people pronounced it. So
No kidding.
Yeah. So like when he was a kid, I guess people said Traben.
Oh, so how is it?
And
What's the original pronunciation?
he thought Trebon sounded better.
No kidding. God, I wish I knew him.
Yeah. I wish you'd met him. You would have got a kick out of him, Dale. Or you would have been like, that guy's insane.
Oh, I would have said that. And I think we either would have gotten along or like he would have just completely been done with me immediately.
No, not at all.
Gotten flushed right out of that deal.
Yeah. Well, I think it's time to start transitioning slowly to social, John. Everybody, this has been a really fun night drawing. Please, we're gonna check out everybody's work in a couple minutes. We're gonna move to Instagram. So right now, put your pencils down, and please post your work to Instagram using hashtag illustration isolation and at Visual Arts Passage. And in about 2 minutes, we're going to pull it up. So don't wait. Post it now, and we're going to check it out with everybody. The clock is ticking though, so don't wait.
Any big New Year's plans?
I don't have any New Year's plans at all. I'm going to run tomorrow again.
Did you keep track of how many miles you ran this year?
No, I have an app that I could probably add that up. That does it. I haven't looked. But like I've treated myself to some new running shoes over Christmas.
No, nice. What'd you get?
I got, let me grab them. I don't know what they're called. Brooks.
Those are good. Those are nice.
Yeah, they're kind of soft and here yeah, so my running
Oh, that's
shoes.
cool.
Yeah.
So cushiony.
Yeah, they're very cushiony, and I like them because they're soft. And
You skinny Bill.
oh, really? Yeah. getting there. But I'm also, doing the whole being really mindful of what I eat. I was at the store today and I looked at those packs that have like 4, blueberry muffins in them or whatever. And I looked at it and I was like, I would really love to have a blueberry muffin in the morning. And then I looked and they're like 350 calories for each one. And I'm like, yeah, I don't really want to eat that much. I'll be hungry in an hour.
Yeah.
I eat that, so.
Dale, have you ever run in the shoes, like the running shoes that have the toes, the socks, they're
I did that once. Like, I don't get that, man. Have you?
No, I got in the funniest conversation with this guy that we didn't hit it off real well in the first place, but he started talking about his running and he kept telling me he was just like telling me all about his running, and he was telling me about these shoes. And he said, soon everyone is going to be running in these things. They're far superior than anything out there.
Oh, I hate that.
Like, I've run in some pretty good sized races before. I've never seen anybody like run in those before. Especially the top runners. I said they're not running in those things.
Right.
And then before the conversation was over, this was so great. He let me know he was running up to 16 miles a week, and I was like, okay.
Wow.
I was like, okay, we're done.
Yeah, I know. Wow. In its own way, that's impressive.
Yeah. That's called Saturday.
I know. That's funny.
John, do you still run going that long of a run still?
Oh God, no.
Like, holy shit.
No.
Oh my God.
I mean, I'm good for about 2 miles.
I'm a full miler now.
A full miler.
Yep. I do my 4 miles probably 6 times a week.
Oh, that's great.
Wow.
That's all you need. I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't think I could run 4 miles unless something was chasing me now.
That's funny.
So are you running the entire 4 miles, John?
Some days
Yeah.
I walk when my wife's with me. I'll walk with her and then run separately or whatever. But some days I do that. I feel bad if I don't.
Yeah.
I feel like I have to. It's like Dale said, I was noticing it today, Dale. I was thinking about you, and I was kind of jogging through our neighbor, or not in our neighborhood, but through the kind of down the main corridor that I live on. And I go to the next main street, and there's a McDonald's on the corner, and it's all glass. And so I'm looking at my dog in the glass, and then I'm trying not to look at myself running. It's like, oh God, that's awful.
Yeah.
That's how I start, like I start and I'm stiff, and it's like, it's definitely old man running, but towards the end, I think it's passable.
I always feel like I look great, and then I catch my shadow. I'm like, whoa,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Where did Dad come from? It's literally, it's my father's shadow.
Oh yeah. But I experienced that on a different level, on the hair thing. I'm like, that looks like my dad,
Yeah, that's funny.
Because I remember being a kid, and like you see your shadow in the playground, you see your hair, and that that always, my mind kind of always flashes back to that moment. But I do about 2 miles straight, and then I walk and run the rest of it.
Yeah, that's all you need,
That's excellent.
Yeah.
But I want to buy another street bike. I've got a mountain bike.
See, next thing you know, you're going to be wearing spandex and shaving your legs.
There you go. Is that the secret?
That's
Well, at least it's more fun that way.
Yeah. Who doesn't like wearing spandex and shaving their legs? I mean, come on, man.
What was that? I can't remember what movie it was. Got to think about it for a second.
Was it the
Yeah.
Talladega Nights
Yeah, you know.
with Sacha Baron Cohen?
Yeah.
He's got that scene where he's this French race car driver, right?
Yeah.
And he's shaving his legs in the. Come on, man.
I love that they're running at the end of that race after the cars are demolished.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that movie is just about the speed movie I can watch if I'm trying to do drawing or painting.
You know what I'm enjoying while working is that Beatles documentary.
Oh, I want to see that. Yeah.
Oh,
It's good.
I've been going over to my mom's house. My brother and sister-in-law are over there, and they're watching it. I mean, it's like it's never ending.
No, it's never ending, but it's also
It's pretty insane.
yeah,
Like seeing it happen in real time.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it requires, like, not intensely watching every moment, but that's a repeated viewing kind of situation there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been watching, what have I been watching? Well, I started watching the show And Just Like That, which is like the follow-up to Sex and the City. I watched Shazam today, which
Shazam.
it's completely stupid.
Are we ready? Are we ready to move on to
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Sorry.
I'm ready.
We don't have to talk about Shazam.
You got
No,
my-
we can talk about Shazam. I was just curious. Shazam is great. That's great content, Bill.
It's a horrible movie. It's so bad.
we could always just talk about another online art school. I mean,
Yeah.
And how bad it is.
We wouldn't do that. How about that, Timmy?
hey,
There we go. That's great.
oh man, those are good. Let's do a year in review.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh my God,
Ooh, look at that.
Cool.
Wow.
that's beautiful.
Wow. I was just feeling good about mine too.
No.
Not feeling so good about it anymore. That's really beautiful. It's awesome.
That's awesome.
Awesome, man.
Right.
That's really
You know
good.
what? That's got the right sentiment to it.
Yeah.
The attitude of the drawing
Mm-hmm.
fits the character really well. This is really nice also. Oh, all four, you got to show them, right?
Oh, that's
Oh,
great.
Nice. Wow.
There's some great
Wow,
stuff.
good
I
stuff
know
here.
who that is. Gary.
Oh
That's
man,
awesome.
Gary, that is awesome.
That's a great Bill Murray profile there. Wow, look at
Oh,
this.
that's beautiful. Like that.
Way to go, Felicity. These are all great.
Devin.
Yeah.
Know that immediately.
Really nice. Oh, look at that. It's well done.
That's pretty good. Nice.
Awesome, Gary.
Hey, Ocean, that's nice.
Hey, Ocean, nice
Cool.
job.
Good job. You made that Sumi ink work? Wow, that's good.
Yeah, that the hair in that, this one nailed the hair well.
Yeah.
That's good. Look at that groundhog. That is an evil
Yeah.
groundhog, man. That's awesome.
You know, it's amazing that Bill Murray has hair.
It
given
is.
the status of his hair.
That's
Like-
pretty Kid right there.
30 years ago.
Wow.
I love that. Hey Dale, to answer your question, it says I've run 847 miles this year.
Nice.
Oh, good for you.
Wow. You're
119.
consistent. You got to be really consistent then. That's good. Because you said you're doing 2 miles?
Yeah, about two. I run about 2 miles and then I walk about 2 miles. So
That's great.
119,229 calories burned.
Jeez. You could have a Big Mac now.
I can have a Big Mac. Yeah. I thought John was going to say like he ran by, he saw McDonald's and he decided to go into it.
I didn't.
Oh, that's
I
nice.
didn't do a Bill Clinton.
That's funny. That's funny. I know.
Oh,
Oh, that's really nice.
That's really nice. Yeah.
Oh, I love that one on the right too.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Ruin Nicole.
Yeah,
Look at this.
that's beautiful too.
I love that one.
That's very well done.
Oh, that Ned Flanders, the big, that's awesome.
yeah.
Not Ned Flanders. What is his name? I don't know his name.
Tobolowski.
Yeah.
Stephen Tobolowski.
Yeah, no, I just couldn't remember the character's name.
Kind of a Ned Flanders energy though.
He did have a Ned Flanders.
Really nice one, Bill.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That's
I
good.
love that.
There's Andy McDowell's kind of.
I like
rubbing
it.
out his-
I think that helped it. I like that. I like the drawing underneath there coming through. That's really nice.
Oh, I love that one on the left there too. Oh, that's nice.
Wow.
That's
Oh,
great.
Great. That's
nice.
great. Nice one, Marcy.
These are the same. Nice, bro.
Uh, oh, cool.
Oh, that's cool.
That's different. Very nice.
Oh, it's nice to see something totally new. That's great.
Oh wow.
Beautiful stuff. Oh, that's really nice. Oh, look at that groundhog.
I think my favorite drawings from tonight are the groundhog.
Well, definitely the thing I drew tonight that I liked the most was the groundhog.
I know
Yeah.
the groundhog was my favorite.
This is nice. Another good groundhog.
Oh, that's good. That looks like him too.
Mhm.
Groundhog, yeah.
Yeah, it looks just like the.
I like that one.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Sharpie or
Dry.
dry eraser. I mean,
Oh, that's
Oh
cool.
wow. I have no idea what's happening there. How they do that? That's
These are good. These are fun.
wow.
That's cool.
And that's like a little bit more distortion than their Phil Burke is starting to happen right there.
Yeah.
that's like Groundhog Day on acid.
I know. I know.
It's fun.
Wow. Again, great groundhog.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that is
Cool.
awesome. Look at that groundhog.
Nobody's getting any Bill Murray. It's just
Yeah, well,
man, that exceptional groundhog.
Oh, look at that.
I'm biased because I
That's
hate
a
it.
great
John, you gotta click on the right. The one on the
Yeah.
right. Oh my God.
That's great.
Oh, that's the best. Fine. Good job, Ocean. That's the way.
That's,
it is.
I can hear in the back, I got to have more Groundhog. I got to have more Groundhog.
More Groundhog.
Digging that groundhog.
That one does it. Oh, these are fun.
Awesome.
Great.
Cool.
Very nice. Oh, we know we're in trouble when we get to this thing.
This
Which-
guy, come on.
What a
Just,
hack.
you know, everybody, we're enrolling. Classes start January 22nd. So that's the end of the night, though. But if you want to learn more, follow the link on the webpage from where you were grabbing the photos. And yeah,
Dale,
night.
Sterling couldn't even get his Groundhog. Looks like a cat. Unbelievable.
It doesn't even look like Bill Murray.
He doesn't.
Who is that guy?
All right,
Yeah,
everybody.
awesome.
Hey, Bill, Dale, Cassandra, Timmy, thank you all. Everybody have a happy new year. We'll be back. Studio Bridge will be Monday night with Lake Hurwitz. So
Awesome.
come join us. Hope to see you all next week.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, guys.
I hope you feel better, man.
Thanks. I appreciate it.